All right, that's how I get fired up in the morning. I start, okay, it's asking me to approve something.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, staffingpreneurs. Today, we are in our setup class, right? We are in our setup class, and we are absolutely fired up today in every way, form, or fashion. There's no question about that because we are talking about starting a staffing business. That's the conversation. That's the topic today is starting a staffing business and getting that staffing business off the ground and generating revenue, right? Essentially. And this class in particular happens every week. It has been going on since 2014, I want to say. That's a long time. This has been going on since 2014, this particular class, and we are still here and not going anywhere. Now, that doesn't mean Dee Williams is only going to be talking about staffing, but I'm just letting you know this class has been here for a very long time. It's very rooted and grounded. And as people come in and out of the academy, they get to experience these live classes. If you're someone that might be watching and you might be saying, I want to get in on the live classes, you can go to staffingpreneursacademy.com and do that and then get involved. Okay, so today we are talking all things staffing. We are going to open up the line shortly for questions. I want to say hey to everybody who is on this call, on my Zoom call live. I want to say thank you for being here, and I hope y'all had a great week. You've had a week from the last time that we saw each other to now with a holiday, so really work in your business, and I'm hoping that throughout the course of that week, you really worked in your business, right? And so when you're coming to class today with questions and thoughts and different things like that on your mind as to what you need to do to move to the next step forward, I want to say hi to all the replayers. I know sometimes I'm a little late uploading my replay, but I'm glad that you had an opportunity to catch the replay. And if you're watching this live on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, I want to say thank you for being here. Feel free to comment, feel free to chime in, ask questions. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those things, okay? Today we're talking all things staffing. And before I open up the lines, first of all, some of my students I already know, y'all have not logged in because y'all see me live. Y'all should be on the Zoom call if you have Zoom access. If not, that's totally cool. Then stay on the various platforms. But I like to see you on the Zoom so I can actually physically share the lines with you and talk to you and engage with you on a more personal level. So it'll be great, if you would do that. Also, and I'm looking at like 1,000 different screens over here. I'm sure y'all already know how I am. Make sure you share your information. Like, we want to be able to talk to you. I think that's very, very important. What else did I want to say? Oh, I want to, before we get into questions, unless someone has absolute question they want to get off their chest right now, like, Dee, I need to know this in this very moment, you can throw it in the box or raise your hand and let me know. But I want to open up the floor and I want to talk a little bit about the shift, right? This is a conversation I've been having a lot lately, and I want to talk about it. I want to make sure that you understand your role in all of the things that are taking place, because there are a lot of things that are taking place that maybe the rest of the world isn't paying attention to right now. We've got so many distractions going on, right? But there are things that are happening right now, and they're happening very fast. And you all know that it's the AI takeover, right? And not just AI, I call it the AI takeover. I probably shouldn't say that, but not just AI, but robots. We've got AI and robots that are really here, not coming. They're here, and doesn't look like they're going anywhere. And so that it directly affects us as staffing agencies, as it affects everybody else in the world as well, right? But in particular, as a staffing agency, it really affects us. And we've got to ensure that we are prepared so that we can prepare employers and job seekers, right? And not just job seekers, but candidates per se. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things that I feel like is very important in regards to how you're structuring your mindset around this. And then I want to give you some action items of things that I want you to focus on over the next week. And then I'll open up the floor for questions for if anybody has any. Okay. So first things first, and yeah, this is a conversation. First things first, you as a staffing agency have to manage the shift for your employers and your candidates. So you have a number of people out here, a number of companies that they see the value in AI and robots from the perspective that they can save money. They feel like employees are a burden. And you should be familiar with that word because in staffing, we charge a burden. There's a burden cost, right, for the employee. So from that perspective, that's kind of true, right? There's a burden, there's insurance, there's reliability or not. There is, just so many different layers to having a human person working. So there are a lot of companies that are like, you know what, it's cheaper for me to have AI and for me to have robots and then, have a very small workforce. Okay, human workforce. And the human workforce that we're going to have are going to be people who can master and manage the AI, okay, who can master and manage the robots, who are strategic thinkers, big thinkers, people who can see systems and processes and just have really strong critical thinking skills. That's where we're going. Okay. And that's in every job. There is not one job on the planet that is going to be immune to the shift that's going to take place. Okay. Down to nurses, down to IT people. I got some videos I want to share with y'all because I'm not sure if y'all have been paying attention. Me and a couple of the staffingpreneurs have been texting each other like, did you see this? Did you see that? Have you seen this? Nurses aren't thinking that. IT people aren't understanding that. And so I definitely am going to share a few things with you. Give me 1 second. I'm moving screens around here. But and that the shift is here and it's not going anywhere. It's already here. And as an agency, it's your job to stand up and to help be a support to these organizations. Now, lots of people are about to get laid off. People are already laying off and they're doing it quietly. And it's very interesting to see. So we saw lots of layoffs earlier this year with the government, right? And now you see a lot of the tech firms that are also laying off. But I want to tell you something. Many of them that are laying off, they're finding very quickly that they actually need those people and the AI has not evolved or matured just yet in this moment enough to completely replace a human being. Okay. And I believe it's going to be like that for at least 2 years. Right. And then until they create the ASI, which is the, superhuman AI, artificial intelligence that can reason and think on its own. It can already reason, but they're saying that it will have its own level of thought. Okay. So when that happens, then I think that the job market is going to plummet very quickly, actually. And only the strong, the great, and the intelligent will survive. I'm going to keep it real with you. So that means that we have work to do right now. That means that we're really in a 2-year time window to identify or to cultivate rather, and help identify true talent seekers, right? True talented individuals. So let's talk about it, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff happening. I just want to make sure we're all still breathing. Still all in the same place because that's very, very important, okay? Let's breathe it out. Okay, now, Jobs are going to be laid off, many, but you can help to retain those jobs by helping your candidates understand their role better, right? And what I mean by that is as an agency, it's going to be your job to go into companies and to let companies know, listen, I know on the forefront of your mind is I want to remove the majority of my staff. I want to reorg and remove the majority of my staff and replace it with AI and robots. But before you do that, let's talk about what that looks like strategically. It's your job to come in and to be a consultant in this particular aspect to the employers right now is what I'm speaking about. And then help them to identify the roles that have the most automation, right? Or that can be automated, and help them to pull the automation out of those roles so that you can provide a digital workforce or a digital agent, a digital AI solution to them, right? That will cover the automation piece of that. Maybe, maybe not, but hopefully that's the direction you're going. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. And then two, so that you can help them identify all the areas of the role that the human is working that makes it so valuable. And to hopefully show them that by not only keeping this person, but hiring more people like this person, they now increase the odds of growing their organization in a way that's smart, that's realistic, that's efficient, and that will allow them to make more rather than lose, right? And that's the direction that we have to go in, and that's going to be very important. Okay, so in your mind, you should be thinking, how can I position myself as a consultant to help support them, even if you don't have an AI solution right now, because that AI solution may come to you as you're talking to people, but you want to offer your consultation, your consulting services free, in my opinion, to every company that you're looking to support and do business with. And you want to get them to, you want to talk to them. Hey, Shana, you want to talk to them about how they can position their employees in the right way. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the box if that makes sense. I need to know that that is clear to everyone. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Tashana. Yes. Okay, perfect. Dr. Rice. Okay, perfect. So that should be your thought process, no matter what. I don't care what else you got going on in your mind. You should be thinking, what can be automated and what do humans absolutely need to do? And you want to be the, like, I think about like the rap 8 Mile, right? Where at the end of the movie, I know everybody's seen 8 Mile, so I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but Eminem was in the movie. He's like the white guy in the movie. He wants to be a rapper during the time, but you didn't really see a lot of white people rapping. And he was in this kind of, issue with other people. And so when they get to the final scene, which is one of the most classic scenes ever, if you're into hip hop, right? He comes out and he's not losing, but the other guys on them are the more popular people, right? People are really relating to them in a different type of way. He needed to figure out, how do I beat this guy without beating this guy, right? How do I do it intelligently with my rhymes? He ended up doing it in a way that's such he actually told on himself all of the things that the guy would have rapped to him about, like, you're a loser, you're a trailer park trash, your mama on drugs, like whatever it was that this guy had going on. That's what these other rappers were going to use against him. But before they had an opportunity to do that, he addressed it. He said, yeah, I am a loser. Yeah, I am trailer park bars. Yeah, my mama is on drugs. And it really caught the other team off guard. And they ended up losing the battle, and he ended up winning because he was able to stand up and address what was happening in the room, was happening with himself. You as a staffing agency have to do the same thing. You can't run from it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. And I'm telling you, every employer on the planet right now in every country that has access to AI robots are thinking, how do I reduce my staff? How do I make things more efficient? They not necessarily want to remove everyone, but waste, according to them, or automation, things that the robot can do or that the AI can do rather. So in your mind, you want to not just Start thinking about it right now. How do I address that right off the bat? Go right up to the hiring manager. Hey, listen, I'm very much so aware that you all are probably looking for more efficient ways, trying to figure out how do you even bring AI into the business, robots. I say aliens are coming too soon because nothing surprises me today. But, how do you do that? And I would love to sit down and have a 30-minute consultation with you and just talk to you a little bit about the things that are happening in the industry and some ideas that we have that we're presenting to companies to help them pull out the automation of tasks in each and every role, and to provide a solution, a digital solution for you, in addition to potentially a human solution if that's needed, right? And I'm just kind of being light with the conversation, but that's an easy conversation to get in the door, but you've got to be ready to have that conversation. I know that this is what you're looking to do. I know this is what you're thinking of, and hey, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Let's get through it. Okay. Now, once you got all of that together in your mind and all of that stuff, and you start to come to grips with this, I want you to, then you also have to think about how you're going to support your candidates, right? How you're going to support people, because two things are going to be happening. People are going to lose their jobs soon, potentially. But we also need to identify people who are extraordinary in their thought process, critical thinking, different things like that, and who can manage AI. And so that's going to be your job too. So a lot of candidates will pay for training. So you can offer training programs that you charge for so that you can have some revenue coming in, right? Or you can offer them for free. Either way, they're lead magnets and you're supporting your candidates. But the big thing that I want you to keep in mind is that you should be training these people and looking for the people who are extraordinary with the AI. You've got to start putting people in buckets and helping them to get from point A to point B. This is where the mission of having the staffing agency is supposed to be overflowingly with love and joy and excitement for you. It's like, oh my God, I don't get to just place people. I get to be a true impact in society. Like, that's bananas. Not everybody has that opportunity, but you do. And so now I want you to take control. I want you to figure out, how can I train my people? Okay, how can I get my people up to speed with AI? How can I recognize that they have something special with managing AI, right? So that's something that you should be thinking about as well. I hope you're keeping bullet points. I hope y'all taking notes, of things that you should be thinking about as well. So your candidate side, you're looking for people who have AI skills. You're looking to train people in AI skills. And if I were you, I would be trying to train my candidates on understanding how to pull the automation out of their role, because nobody is going to know it better than that candidate, right? So for every human being that has a job right now and that's working, in their minds, they should be looking at their role and say, what do I do every day that's repetitive? What do I do this just repetitive, or every day? Can it be automated? And what cannot be automated? And then you can also create, I don't want to get that. That's a whole nother video. Don't get me fired up. That's a whole nother video. But this is an opportunity for you to solve major problems through technology. And if you're one of the people that's like, Dee, I don't want to build AI technology. Like, if it takes over the world, I'm a part of that and all of this other stuff. I agree. I am 1,000,000% agree. But what I want you to do is start off building your AI technology, make your money, and then go back and build technology that's not AI. So if AI goes crazy, then we have a backup, right? But I want you to get in on the wave that's about to take place, that is taking place. You deserve that. You deserve that. If you're willing to invest your time and energy from working a job into coming in and starting this business, this staffing business to support people, you deserve that. Okay. So that's very, very, very important. All right. So we talked about the shift. We talked about employers and how you're going to support employers. We talked about candidates, at least how you're going to support human candidates. Now let's talk about digital candidates. Okay, because that's probably something you haven't thought about, the digital workforce. Right now, even though I have this thing, start a staffing agency, everyone in my community knows we do not use the word staffing at all. It is We don't use that word. Okay. And we don't use that word because sometimes it makes people feel uncomfortable. It makes them have not good feelings. And we're coming to the table with pure heart, genuine authenticity, wanting to help, genuinely want to create impact, like wanting to help both the candidate and the client. So we don't want to be associated with a nasty word or a word that people don't feel comfortable with. But what is true today that I can't even express strong enough is that we are in a space where you're offering workforce solutions, period. So you're not a staffing agency, you're a workforce solutions agency or a workforce solutions company. And the reason why it's so important for you to be a workforce solutions company is so that you can provide different levels of workforce, which is going to be needed now in this new age. We're not going back to yesterday. Staffing from COVID is over. Staffing before over. We're not going backwards. We're going forward. Those life stuff, that all the things, even I'm re-recording the academy. Things are changed, period. Not changing, changed. Okay. So staffing is not a word we're using. Workforce solutions, 100%. And you're offering at least 3 types of workforce solutions. You're going to offer human workforce. You're going to offer digital workforce. And you're going to offer robot workforce as well in the future, right? And right now, the robot slot is going to be very empty unless you're in manufacturing. If you're in manufacturing and light industrial, then you have a whole different mindset, because for you, it's not necessarily the AI, it's the robots that's important to you. But for everybody else, it's AI right now with a slot open for robots because you know they're coming. Now, you might be saying, Dee, how am I going to get robots? We'll talk about that later. Let's just talk about what workforce solutions is and what you're offering. You're offering workforce solutions. Workforce solutions, okay? Human, AI, digital, and robots. Okay. And so very, very important. Now that you understand you're a workforce solutions company, it's your job to take over the world, to change the way things are moving, to help companies thrive and understand, and to help candidates thrive and understand. And I want you to start positioning your brand in that way, which leads me to the next step. It is very important that you start updating your website content and your sales sheet and your pricing sheet, or maybe not necessarily your pricing sheet, but all of your marketing materials. It's time to go back and to start upgrading right now. Call your developer, go get your content out, go through your website with a fine-tooth comb. You can throw it in the chat if you want, but you need to start considering yourself to be a workforce solutions company, and you want to talk about AI in some way. If you need to go back and change it later and the world turns different, we can do that. But as of now, we want you to be able to create impact and to make a lot of money. And if you're going to do those 2 things, that's what you need to do. So that's the one action item I need on everybody's plate this week. Put a 1 in the box if you heard what the action item is. And one of them, she left this call. She leave this call so quick when she know I'm about to put an action item in play. Listen, put a 1 in the box if you understand what your action item is for the week. Okay, thank you. Reach out to your developer, and I want you to start getting your content updated. I want you to start repositioning the strategies within your organization. Each and every one of you need to do research this week on how AI is impacting your specific niche market, period, okay? And be ready, thank you, Kristen, and be ready, and I mean it, and be ready next week to talk about how you plan to position your AI digital workforce in your company. Now, let's talk about some of the fun stuff, and then the last 30 minutes belongs to you all, I promise. At least I'm gonna try, okay? So when you add a digital workforce to your plan, I'm going to think the calculator because I'm getting excited. You know, I love money, right? I've been thinking about money all the time. I love it. So when you provide a digital workforce solution in addition to human, oh my gosh, like that changes your financial gain. You could already be very lucrative and profitable in staffing prior to that. But now we're talking about a different revenue stream that's very, very different than the way the traditional staffing models are finance funded, right? Or how they make money, rather, right? So you're still going to do your traditional human staffing. And I just want to bring something up really quickly. Over the years, staffing has stayed very consistent, meaning that, people didn't come in and really change the industry. Everyone pretty much followed the same format, right? Right now, we are in a place where you don't have to follow the format. You can create your own format. You can create your own style, your own pricing model, your own service names. You can still be a workforce solutions company without offering the traditional means of staffing. Back in the day, and you still see it, people charge a percentage of the candidate's first year salary. Maybe you take that percentage of the candidate's first year salary and charge the client monthly over the course of 12 months. Don't slight yourself financially, but maybe switch the way the model works, because maybe they're more uncomfortable with that upfront fee immediately. And then that gives you, kind of a cushion throughout the course of the month on the direct hire side. Now you would have to change your guarantee model. You're going to have to change your guarantee model a little bit, but this is an opportunity for you to create, for you to have some ingenuity around how you want to deliver your services in staffing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay. Woo. Come on now, Dee. Wait, I stand for your little. Oh yes, honey. Let's talk about it. Woo. I'm sorry, Byron. I'm so hot over here talking about money. Unique. I get so flustered, Kristen. Money is just overwhelming. Okay, listen. I was really getting hot for real life. I was really getting hot. Okay. So money. Okay. So now you've got your traditional. You're thinking about different and creative ways to build out your model for staffing. I will always be here to show you what the standard is. I think it's important for you to understand the standard, for you to understand traditionally how staffing agencies are run, because if you understand traditionally how they're ran, then you'll be able to understand how you want to evolve your particular model, your particular business model, okay? So my information in the academy is for you to get the basic understanding of this is how it's been over the last since 1952 or 54, whatever the number is. It might be earlier than that, but I think it's in the 50s, right? This is how it's always been. And now you can say, okay, it's always been this way. Now I want to do it this way. Now I'm going to structure it this way. You can even put it in the AI and say, what are some different models we can do different from what's already being done? So that's what we're talking about. And I mainly gave direct hire as an example. With contract staffing, that's going to be very interesting, because that is staffing is one of the few models on the planet where people are wanting to know what your margin is and what your profit is. It's psychopath to me, but so this is an opportunity for you to structure your services differently. But let's say you keep everything the same, the way the standard market is right now. And that's where you're providing your human workforce solutions, right? Your digital, you're going to charge differently, because AI is about engagement, interactions. Okay. It's not like an hourly employee. Now, before I get into the pay and how much money you're going to make with AI as a digital workforce, right? Let's talk about the AI agent itself, because a lot of you are thinking, oh, it's just technology. I don't have to do anything. It's just technology. But AI was created in the likings of the human brain. I don't know if you know that, right? Neurons and all of those things. And so it kind of moves that way. And so when I say human workforce and a digital workforce, every time you incorporate AI to take on something that's repetitive in someone's role, that is considered an AI agent or an AI operator. But notice it has a name, right? It's a type. So it's an employee. Now, let me ask you some real questions here. When you have a real employee, you're hiring a human employee. There's some steps that you have to take to ensure that you legally that you're bringing this employee on, that they understand what the role is, how to do the role, and that you're monitoring to make sure that they're doing the role right? And then you're grading them based on that, and you keep them if they're great, and if they suck, you fire them. That's essentially the system. Just keeping it real. Okay, so AI digital employees are the same way. Same exact thing, except you don't have to fire them because you can train them and tune them to make them better over time. But you have to identify your AI employee. You'd be like, is this an agent, name, whatever the case may be? All of those things have to be identified. Then you have to onboard the AI agent, right? You got to start to configure the agent to make sure that the agent knows exactly what it's going to be doing, okay? After you onboard the agent, you got to train the agent. So you got to give it a whole bunch of documentation. I'm just having fun this morning. But for real, you got to give it a lot of documentation so that it understands you, your work, the stuff that you're doing, what have you. So it has to train it the same way you do when you hire someone, okay? And then you have to monitor that agent every day to make sure that that agent is working. So all the people online calling saying, oh, you just put the AI agent in place and you never have to look at it again, that's bullshit. You have to manage the AI agent the same way you would manage an employee, okay? Because if you don't, the AI agent will begin to hallucinate and it'll start creating its own thing. It'll start doing its own thing, which is why I say it's a lie, but whatever. We fight about that a lot. But it'll start doing its own thing. It'll start creating stuff up that you're like, no, that's not what it, no. So you also have to monitor that employee, that digital employee, on a daily basis, and you have to make sure that it's in line with the things that you want it to do, and then you want to grade it, right? So you have to tell it, you did great on this, so that it will continue to do that and get better and better and better, or no, you did not do good on this. This is how we do it. This is not the way to do it. This is how we do it, so that it can auto-correct itself and to create a log of things not to do. And that's where it gets kind of tricky, because the knots, with humans, and the AI is going to be pretty much engaging with us at some point, whether it's with the employee or with a human being on the outside, depending on how the agent is being used. We think differently. We're complicated. Nothing about us is like this ever. I wish it was. I would be able to live a better, different life, okay? But nothing is ever this way. It's always, you're just not sure what's going to come next. And so when you start creating the no's have to come with conditions. And I think that's where things get very interesting. I think I need a money. I be getting so hot when I talk to y'all. I bought this fan specifically for this reason, so that when I was cooling myself off, I would have that good money energy blowing my way. I might make some for y'all too. I think everybody needs one of these. It's so cute. Okay, cool me off. So very important. Now let's go back and talk about the money. Okay, let's talk about the AI money. Now that you know that you have to treat your AI employee the way you would treat a contract staffing employee, or one of the employees that are in your company that you're paying on an hourly basis, AI digital workforce is the same way. Okay, now as I stated before, with AI agents, it's a little bit differently. You need one, you need one of the fans? She said, I need one, Dee. AI agents work a little bit differently. Shannon needs one too. Oh, y'all some fans. Y'all would like my fans so much. Yes, I'm gonna get y'all some fans. Look at distracted me. So the AI agent, let's talk money. Okay, so agents work on engagements. Like they work off of these things called tokens, and each token costs, COSTS. Okay, and so your job, you can't like charge like the same way you would charge an hourly employee, because for every interaction that the AI agent does, that's the cost. And so you're going to charge a little bit differently, but it's going to depend on how you deliver your AI agent. Now, there are a number of ways to deliver your AI agent. And before I tell you those ways and the money associated with it, I want to let you know right now that the next wave of millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires are AI. If things keep going the way they're going, that's the next wave. So if you're like, I'm broke, or I don't want to be left behind, or I wish there was a wave that was going to come that I could touch and become a whatever, like this is it now. That's no question about that. This is this now through AI, okay? So know that right now. This is very important. You're at a very important space and time right now, okay? So how are you going to deliver your AI digital workforce? You're either going to do it through automations. You're probably saying, what's an automation, Dee? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like, an automation. So if I am working in a role and the part of my job that's repetitive, let's say, okay, let's do the automation I just created yesterday. So this is entrepreneurial, but this tells you, so something that I need to happen all the time, I need all my systems to talk so that I don't have to manually do it, right? So when someone goes to my website and they download, they purchase a $27 product, I need that $27 product, I need it to be tagged, and I need it to go directly to ActiveCampaign so that they can get the delivery of the product, which is my email marketing platform, ActiveCampaign. They can get the delivery of the product, but at the same time, it also needs to go into Stripe, so Stripe will know that somebody has also paid for this. So it needs to go from the website to Stripe, Stripe to ActiveCampaign. Now, manually, I can do this every day, all day, right? It doesn't take but 2 seconds. I see somebody paid. Okay, I can go in and just give them access. But why would I do that when I have an AI automation that can do it? So now AI goes in and it says, okay, this is what you need. You just go in and program it, and then it does the whole automation for you by yourself. You don't have to do anything after you create the automation. Now, Matt, you have to go back and watch it and make sure it's working and different things like that. But that particular AI, you don't have to train much. You're more giving it a directive, okay? So that's like an agent level 2, because there are like 3 levels of agents, which I'm gonna do a video, like really sit down and talk about AI in the different levels so that you'll really understand how this works. But that's like a level 2. But you can sell those automations to companies. So that's where I'm saying that it's going to be where and listen, when you're talking to candidates and they're interviewing and they're like, I work at this company, even if they're getting laid off, I work at this company, this is my job. Talk to them, work with them differently, try to help them get the job back. Find out what they did, what can be automated, create the automation, the AI automation for that, and then sell that back into the company and have that employee manage that AI automation. Did that make sense? Put a 1 in the box if that made sense. Put a 2 in the box if you like, keep going, D, because I need more. If it made sense, and I mean, just tell me. But if you need more, tell me, because I think that was a great depiction of literally what you want to do. Okay, I love that. Okay, I love that. Okay, and I'll still keep going more, but I want to make sure you have a clear understanding. Okay, so now we got this. So automation, the AI automation is one way that you can make revenue, and those automations you can charge $5,000 a month. Right. And so, and that will cover up to a certain amount of engagements, or you can charge per engagement, and then you just add your profit on top of that. But it's not hourly, right? Like an hourly contract employee or direct hire placement, but it is, because if you charge monthly, that $5,000, that's a direct hire. Maybe it's not $5,000, maybe it's $2,500. Right? But you have these automations that you're creating, and you can either sell and or manage for the employer, right? You can manage it for the employer. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is SaaS technology. Okay. SaaS technology, SaaS, software as a service technology. You can create the technology that is needed to fulfill a specific task or tasks. So, in my mind, I think in systems, I think in departments, I don't think in role. And maybe that's because I own companies, but I think in systems and departments. And when I think in systems and departments, I think, what does this person do that affects everyone around that person? And how can we take all of the automation related to this team and put it in a software technology so that the human work can be done, and they can increase the productivity on that. So you're going to be able to have to show that, but that's the idea. And so I start thinking, and I'm just going to use nurses, for example, just because a lot of my clientele are nurses. They just are. Nurses, IT, sales, I got all that, but nurses. So if I'm in a home health care facility, for example, and I know that my nurse, my RN, my CNA, and my LPN or my nursing assistant or whatever all work in this collectively. What are things that they all do? How do they all work together? Now, I'm not a nurse, so I don't know, but how do they all work together? What are things that need to happen physically between this team? And what are things that can be taken out and automated from this team? And then whatever it is that can be automated as a team, then that's the AI software that you want to create, right? And that you can sell. So now you're going in and saying, hey, I have humans, I've got CNAs, LVNs, and or whatever, RNs, right? But I understand that you are looking for ways to save money. And that's one of the reasons why you don't work with staffing agencies. But lucky for you, we're not a staffing agency. We're a workforce solutions company. And what makes that, what that means specifically is that we provide human solutions, AI digital solutions, and soon to be robot solutions. Can I talk to you a little bit more about what that looks like? And now you can get in the door, you can have a conversation, you can really pull the layers back and understand what's needed. But if you're already a nurse or already in a role where you understand how everything works, you're showing them the solution because they're going to buy somebody's solution. It's somebody's solution. Now, it can be yours or somebody else's. So if you're the first one to the punch, then they're going to look at yours. And if you're the only person that's created it thus far, then you're the first solution. So you now dominate the market as the first. So with that being said, now you've got a SaaS technology. How do you make money through SaaS technology? You make money per user per month, and then you also add engagements. Okay, so it's still going to be, and you might not have a monthly user, but most SaaS platforms per month per user. Right? You see a lot of new models coming out that I'm loving. I'm not going to lie, where they're not necessarily in the per month, per user, or I would say per user, but per month. They're saying, hey, your team of people all for this monthly fee. And the monthly fees are a lot different, right? So in SaaS, typically the monthly fee could be, $49 a month, because you're thinking 10 million people are going to get on your platform at some point or something like that, right? But when you have AI, if you're selling automations, you can sell them, like I said, for $2,500. If you're doing a SaaS platform and you're supporting a certain amount of engagements or AI interactions, your cost level will be higher. It may not be $49 a month unless you're charging per engagement, but just think about the volume that comes with that. The how many people are in a company, how many people outside of that company, how many companies are having that same issue that's going to need that technology. You're going to grow very, very quickly. So very, very, very quickly. So very, very important to understand that SaaS technology piece is a winner too, because all you need is volume. Okay, and you're $1 million. And what we do in SaaS, I say we do because I love SaaS. But we talk about monthly reoccurring revenue, MRR. I want you to put in the chat, MRR. That stands for monthly reoccurring revenue. Put it in the chat, MRR. That should be the thing you're thinking about all day and all night. I need to make, what's my MRR? What's my MRR goal? How much money do I want to have MRR? My goal is up here. My MRR is right here. It says 326,923.7 cents per month. That's my goal. That's my MRR. Okay. So that's what I'm looking to generate every month and through my technology. Right. So you're thinking like that. And that's very possible. That's right. Look at my people online. Miss T said MRR. She said, give it to me, D, MRR. Mary said, MRR. Hey, Mary. Tell Becky I said hi and I got her text message. MRR, everybody's screaming it out, but it's very true, that monthly recurring revenue. And you have some people who have AI SaaS platforms that are doing $1 million a month in MRR, $2 million a month in MRR, $5 million. Oh man, I'm just having a moment. I'm having a moment. $5 million in MRR, like $10 million in MRR. Oh my God, that's crazy. Listen, it's not a game. So that's the second way that you can charge in your digital workforce. Your digital workforce doesn't necessarily have to be an agent. It can be a software, right? And if it's a software, then you're taking on a piece of the AI industry. So you're coming up at a level, in my opinion, above someone that's just creating an agent, okay? And then the third layer is an operator. And for me, an operator is kind of something similar to what you see. The Chat GPT has an operator version, right? An operator is an AI operator that physically logs into your things on your computer while you're there, while you're not, and that are doing things for you. So they're basically, you say, I want you to schedule a meeting with Dr. Rice for me for next week. She keeps forgetting to schedule her appointment on the calendar. Okay. And then the agent will go into my Google Calendar. It'll reach out and look at my available times without me having to do it. I'm sorry, not the agent, the operator. It would then go into Calendly, pull the link out for Dr. Rice. It may ask me, do you want me to do it directly or do you want me to send her a link? I'm going to say send her a link. So go get the link from Calendly, then go into my email and my text and create a message ready for my approval. I check, he says, oh, wrote the email to go out to Dr. Rice. Can you approve it? I approve it. He sends it. And that's literally how it goes. So it's like actually having a real like virtual assistant on your computer, like logging into your things, doing your things. Okay. And so that's like the third layer. That's like the third layer. Dr. Rice said, no, don't call me out in front of everybody, the whole world. But I'm just using her as an example. She's always on. I love Dr. Rice. But I'm using that as
the truth. You're not lying. You're telling the truth.
Say it again.
You're telling the truth. You're not lying.
I love you, though. You know I love you. I love you. So I just want. So you've got that layer. Now, how do you make money off the operator? Most people don't know anything about it. They don't know how it works. They don't even know that it exists just yet, right? But you do. But you can go in and create your own version of the operator, and you can sell that version to people as well. Okay. So with the AI space there, that's from an AI digital workforce perspective. You've got this revenue coming in probably more assertively than your staffing revenue at this point in time, because of just where the transition is, depending on your niche market. Now, I think in the healthcare, nurses, you can't live without. You understand? But companies are looking for bots. They're looking for robots. They're looking for robots. I'm trying to find y'all this video because I was like, I sent it to Dr. Rice. And I was like, the robots are coming for the nurses too. Don't get it twisted. The nurses, they be telling me all the time, I'm not concerned. I got one nurse in particular, y'all. I'm not going to say her name because then she will call me out. But she will leave meetings early. She's just not interested in the AI because she feels like I'm a nurse, it's not going to affect me. Well, let me show y'all this video. Hold on one second. I'm going to show y'all this. Now, y'all got to bear with me because I'm not always so great at, let me see, it was share screen. Okay, there it is. Look at this. Tell me if y'all can see this. Hold on one second. One second. I really want y'all. There it is. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to try to speed it up just a little bit. This is fair use rights or whatever they say. I'm just showing, I'm going to just speed it up just a little bit. So it's going to talk a little bit faster. And this is a video talking about the nurse robot with NVIDIA. Let me just share my screen with my staffingpreneurs so that they can see it too. There you go. Okay, perfect. All right, now y'all watch this. This is bananas. Hold on. Okay, I think y'all can see my screen. Perfect. Oh, wait, let me make sure that everybody else can see my screen. Hold on. I suck at this, but I'll get better over time and just bear with me, okay? Okay, y'all can see my screen? Add to stage. Okay, perfect. Da, 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 da. All right, now look at this ish. Nobody is safe.
Robotic nurse that's already assisting real patients.
Let me start it over just a little bit.
Robots were mostly stage performers. They looked impressive.
Hold on.
Let's be honest, just a few years ago, humanoid robots were mostly stage performers. They looked impressive, sure, but they weren't doing anything useful in the real world. That's changing fast. In this video, we're diving into how Foxconn and NVIDIA built a robotic nurse that's already assisting real patients, how Singapore just brought in its first humanoid security robot, and how a startup backed by $27 million plans to send robots into shipyards. You'll also see the launch of Titan, a rugged robot made for harsh outdoor work, and a powerful new AI system from Carnegie Mellon that trains humanoids to pull, push, and open doors with force and precision. The era of real robotic labor is here, so let's talk about it. Let's start with one of the biggest drops at Computex this week. Foxconn, NVIDIA, and Kawasaki just revealed their AI-powered humanoid nursing robot, Neurobot. Now, this isn't just a hospital helper that rolls around with a tray. It's got real capabilities: perception, navigation, language understanding, and even the ability to adapt over time. It's been developed in partnership with Taiwan's Taichung Veterans General Hospital and is aimed directly at solving real issues in healthcare, things like labor shortages, patient monitoring, and caregiver burnout. Neurobot can monitor vital signs, help patients move around, deliver meals and medication, and offer companionship. And it's not just reacting to commands. Thanks to NVIDIA's AI platform, it processes massive amounts of data in real time. If something's off in a patient's vitals, it can flag it immediately. If a patient tends to get up at a certain time or needs help turning over in bed, Neurobot learns that and adjusts its routine. All of this is possible because of its high-res sensors, advanced NLP capabilities, and autonomous navigation. Early trials are already showing that nurses love it because it takes over the repetitive stuff and gives them more time for the serious work. And patients, they feel like they've got someone who's always around to help. While Foxconn hasn't dropped an official press release yet, NVIDIA's announcement makes it pretty clear. They're positioning Neurobot as the start of something much bigger. With hospitals under pressure and populations aging fast, robots like this might end up becoming part of the standard care team. Now, while Foxconn and NVIDIA are diving straight into healthcare, over in Singapore, Certus is taking a more cautious approach. They just unboxed their first humanoid robot built by Agibot.
Okay, so that's going to start in talking about the security and talking about the shipyards and different things like that. But that's just an example. That's just a small smidget of how things are about to go. So even nurses, okay, so nobody is safe. Even like the AI owners are there, like, we might not have our own stuff, but they're putting too much into it, but whatever. All I'm saying is it doesn't matter the industry. Every industry is going to have some type of robot, digital AI, workforce person, or human being. But as staffing agencies, we get to define how we want this to go. This industry is never going to go away because no company on the planet can sit down forever and just really screen people. And even though they are going to find AI robots that are going to screen, and many of you are going to create agents or operators or software that's going to be able to go out and find people to fill roles, you're going to understand that AI is only software. It's not software, but it's only as good as the information that we give it and that it learns in this moment. Okay. And so, you still have to have that human touch when we're talking about hiring. And so companies are going to need you. They're going to be focusing on the production, on being more efficient. They need you to come in, bring the talent in who can actually look at, because what's happening is most people, let me just say this a little differently. You're ultimately, when you're talking about your digital workforce, you're ultimately becoming like a product developer to some degree, at least in this phase, because you're taking processes and systems and you're going to try to figure out how to solve those things with a digital workforce and how to make sure that the talent that you're placing understands how to use that, how to do, how to work with it, and has the ingenuity, it has the mindset to not only look at the AI and how it's operating, but manage it and evolve it in a way that's going to make more money for the company, that's going to make a product better, that's going to make us deliver a service with more quality, or whatever the case may be. Okay, put a 1 in the box if that resonated with you on any level. They have robots at the University of Chicago, Dr. Rice. Oh, they already on it. They not even playing.
So they is still being trained. A ex coworker I used to work with works there, and she posted on Facebook. This I've seen it a few times. So yeah, they're training a robot over there.
So there you have it. So and you know, Boston Dynamics. I didn't show the video. They are assertively working on robot. I'll do a robot video because y'all about to see me flood the internet with stuff, but I'm going to do a robot video because there's so many. They have the robots that are coming in your home. They have the robots that are going to, you know, do different roles. They have the robots right now that are putting stuff together putting cars together over BMW. Like, so think about that. When y'all saw VO3 come out this last week, you saw the AI clips, and they was like, I can't believe I'm an algorithm or I'm a prompt, you know, and the effect of jobs and different things like that stuff is real. And so the people who are going to thrive are the people who are going to own AI or know how to manage AI. Everybody else is going to be on universal basic income, period. And they're talking about that like it's here. Okay. So like you're either going to own the AI, which means you've got to start creating your AI agents. That means you've got to start creating your AI operators. That means you've got to start creating your AI software. That's what I've been training on. That's all the new shift that's happening in the academy, right? It has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen, or you're going to be left behind. Okay. And that's going to be very important. I didn't mention the final layer, and this to me is one of the easier layers, and they can make a lot of money. And that's the creating your own LLM, right? Or at least reselling an LLM that's yours essentially, and taking that LLM and making it private to individual companies so that they can have their own private learning language model that's specific to them and their business. Why is that important? Compliance and security. Okay, especially in healthcare and in certain parts of tech or what have you. Like companies don't want to share Chat GPT, not like that, because now all of their proprietary data and everything like that is now going into Chat. And Chat does have a secure space for working places, but it's still on their platform, right? So companies, especially when you're implementing the chat bots for the companies that are doing the customer service and different things like that, they want their own LLM that has all the data that's specific to them. You can sell that, right? You could sell that as a one-time fee setup, but I would not, because you still have to monitor and train and tune the LLM like I told you before. So that's your monthly recurring revenue. Let me see you say MRR. Come on, MRR. Put it in the box. Where are my people at? Well, let me see the MRR. I don't know what's happening here. Everybody's firing up with that MRR. Okay, that's when that MRR comes in. You know, you have that maintenance. You have the training, the tuning that happens every month, you know, to keep that up to speed. So you got 25, 30 companies where you sold them private LLM spaces for their company. And now you've got, you know, you do it for $1,000 a month, or you know, $2,500 a month, or whatever, $60,000 a year, whatever the case may be. Now you've got monthly recurring revenue. And I said $60,000 a year, but I'm gonna give y'all a new word. The new word is YRR. YRR, which is yearly recurring revenue. So you might say, okay, it's going to be $60,000 for the year. Matter of fact, it's going to be $100,000 for the year for this private LLM. And we can charge you monthly for that. However, if you pay in full, we'll discount it to $60,000 a year. And then you can renew your contract at the end of the year. They say, okay, I want to pay in full. I'm going to pay the $60,000, take the $40,000 discount. Now you've got YRR, yearly recurring revenue. That means that they're paying per year. Okay, YRR. So if you get fired up like me, where's my fan at? Hold on. If you get fired up like me, okay, you want monthly recurring revenue. You want yearly recurring revenue. Okay. And some people have QRR, which is quarterly recurring revenue, right? But you get to set your business up in a way where you define your financial structure. Okay. And I love monthly recurring revenue. It sets my soul on fire. But yearly recurring revenue, whoosh, the flames get higher. Okay, so you want to do both of those things. And now you've got that digital workforce solution. So now you've got your human workforce, you've got your digital workforce, and then you got your robot workforce, which we'll talk about another time because I took all your whole hour. I'm going to open up the lines. But this is the future of staffing, period. This is the future of staffing. And the question is, will you be a part of that future? Will you be a part of the shift? And I'm going to open up the lines, but I want to let you know that Staffingpreneurs Academy, June 27th through the 29th, we are re-recording the Academy. Now, if you want to just be a part of the recording, you don't have to be a part of the coaching program or anything like that. If you just want to be a part of the recording, you can go to staffingpreneursacademy.com, click on live events, and get your ticket. Okay. I had it on sale over the weekend. I'll throw it back on sale when I get off the call. I think we had it on sale for $9.97. We had it on sale for, I don't know. So I'll throw it back on sale. If you want to be a part of this movement, like genuinely a part of this movement, when you're like, okay, I know that this is for me, then I want you to come in and be a part of Staffingpreneurs Academy's coaching program, which is where you come into the live classes. This is what a live class is like. Sometimes I'm a little bit more excited than I am today, to be honest with you. But this is what a live class is like. And you get step-by-step instruction. Just go to staffingpreneursacademy.com and go to coaching programs under shop. Okay. You can also schedule an appointment on the Academy. I put all the links in the description, so you could just look in the description and see that. But I really want you to get involved with Staffingpreneurs Academy and the movement of staffing, because the time is now. You can control your future. So many people are coming to me laid off with their severance checks, okay? Because they believe I'm going to build something that's going to change my future. Smart. And if it's not me, find another coach. But taking that money and investing it in a place that's going to set your future up differently, that's the smart thing to do. And you want to do it now, okay? Because we don't have till tomorrow, right? Everything is happening right now. So you'll see more on my channel about just the AI and how to use it and different things like that. Because I was working with a couple of the staffingpreneurs and I realized they don't even know how to use AI at the basic level. And no shame or anything like that. But I was like, do such and such. And it was like, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, well, create this. I didn't know you can create that. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are like the basics. And so I really want to get people into AI and how to utilize it and how to manage it so that you can direct your staff and you can be a value asset to employees as well. Now, I'm going to open up the line. So thank you so much for allowing me to talk about this, because it's something I'm very passionate about. And for everybody that's on the Zoom call, y'all already know because y'all hear me every week. But for the rest of the world, y'all don't realize, like, I thought I was leaving staffing, and then the shift came and I realized that it's not for me to leave. It's to help evolve the industry. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. And I'm extremely passionate about it. And I'm passionate about the people that I work with. I was just telling somebody the other day, I'm so thankful that I get to work with people I like, because you don't like everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I get to actually engage with people that I like, that are fired up, that are ready to take their ideas to another level. I absolutely love it. Okay. So the lines are open because I'm 4 minutes late. Do y'all have any questions for me? Do y'all have any questions? Miss T said, oh yeah, she said, Miss T said, discounting the YRR is smart. You always want to discount. And so let's put the questions on the table. All right. This is for my staffingpreneurs internally and anybody that's online. Let's open the floor up for questions. So the yearly, you definitely always want to discount your yearly recurring revenue, no matter what. Okay. And the reason is because, and it could hurt you at some point, but if you're sharp in the way that you do things, you'll always have a backup plan. And there are many different types of layers of backup plans that you can have, especially when we're talking about AI and engagements, because remember I told you with AI, engagements are very, you have to pay per engagement, right? But you'll see in most websites, SaaS websites, or even if you do a service level agreement, an SLA for for something, you typically see if the cost of it is, and I'm just making up numbers, 100,000, then they'll discount it by 20% or 30%. And that's to lock them in for the year, right? So you want people locked in for a long period of time, not a short period of time. And you want them to pay up front so that you can give the most value, because now you can take that money and beef up your service, provide more quality to your service, right? And to really, be able to deliver at a stronger level. That's very important. And so when companies pay up front, it provides you with the ability to increase your service, okay? And so, yeah, pay me up front. Take the 20% off. You got me for a year. You get to build a relationship. And I'm telling you, people who do YRR contracts with you, they believe in you. They believe in you. They want to partner with you. They want to be a partner with and for you. And that is very, 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 very important. Very, very, very important for you to know. And you value them a little bit different. You treat them like a higher tier, in my opinion, client, right? Because they've invested with you for a year. They've given you their money up front. They're believing and trusting in you. That's a big deal. Now we've got more questions. I want to throw out any more questions. Kristen says, we help athletes connect NCAA pro and Olympic athletes to employers, but how can we use AI to protect their employment? I'm thinking of expanding out of 9-to-5 jobs and build the hub for branding and marketing partnership jobs. Okay, are those two separate things in the sentence? And I'm going to just break it down. So we help athletes connect NCAA pro and Olympic athletes to employers. So that's pretty cool. I love that. But how can we use AI to protect their employment? What do you mean to protect their employment? Oh, you mean like so that they're not automated? Well, I don't think basketball players are going to be replaced. Although there are robots that ran a marathon in the last month or so. I think in China somewhere. I don't know if he won or not. But I think from an athletic perspective, you're probably in one of the safer spaces, right? I thought car dealerships were going to be safe, but I saw they're using robots in car dealerships to sell the cars. And I thought restaurants would be safe, but they're using robots to serve people. So I don't, but I think sports, I feel we're safe for a while, right? So I think you're fine. I don't know where athletes are doing repetitive tasks to the point where they need AI or robots to do it for them, but you would have to tell me that, or you would have to define that. I think they're protected. But expanding out of 9-to-5 jobs and build the hub for branding and marketing partnership jobs. Expanding out of 9-to-5 jobs and build a hub for branding and marketing partners. I mean, I'm not fully sure what that is, but it sounds good. As far as I can tell, you got to be more descriptive for me, though. You got to tell me a little bit more, or and I'm patient, so you can type it in, but you got to tell me a little bit more, because I need more information to be able to expound on that. But yes, so and we'll wait for Kristen to come in with that. Any other questions this week? How did you do this week in your business? So that's something that we can throw out there. I know y'all learned a lot this week, and while I'm opening up the lines for my staffingpreneurs, anybody who has questions, I am here. Hold on, let me go and look at my thing right here. How did y'all do this week? What happened? Don't run from me because I'm live. Did you accomplish the things you were looking to accomplish this week in your staffing business and getting it set up? That's the question I have. You could throw that in the box, or you can open up the lines if you want. And I'll be silent for a second just to give anybody an opportunity to speak that may feel like they want to speak. They're getting quiet because we live, I think. Okay. While y'all, you can just raise your hand if you're interested. You can let me know, and I'll open up the line, and unless you want to take over the line. While you're doing that, I really quickly, before people leave, I want to remind you what your action items are for the week. Your action items. Does anybody remember their action items for the week? Does anybody? It's a cheat in the chat, but does anybody remember their action items for the week? Anybody? Number one.
I remember you saying, look up how AI is changing your niche.
definitely look up how AI has changed your niche. That was number 2. Number 1 was update your website content and your branding to say workforce solutions. Get rid of the word staffing ASAP. You are not a staffing agency. Workforce solutions. Okay. And then I want you to start thinking about, what AI services you're going to offer, what type of AI digital workforce you're going to offer. And then, of course, I want y'all to come and let me train you. You already know that. You already know what you come to Staffingpreneurs Academy and let me train you. Okay, so we got so Kristen, she's back. Okay, she said, instead of connecting athletes to jobs, connecting them to brand partnerships. Interesting. We want to know how to AI proof that, since AI can create mock images and commercials. That's interesting. First, I just want to say, I like the way your mind is thinking. Not everybody is thinking like that. And you're one of those people, even though you're an entrepreneur, you would be one of those people that I would identify as somebody that I would want to really invest and train AI, train my AI. Train you in AI and get you in front of employers. I'm gonna just keep it real with you, right? Just by that question, it lets me know you're thinking ahead of the game. So I just want to say that I appreciate that. Now, the second thing is, I think that's a great idea, and you're creating that as an AI workforce. So you're saying, forget the jobs. Let's just get rid of the jobs altogether and let's focus on the brand partnerships. But I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should always still consider the jobs. Humans are not going to completely go away. And everybody that think about this, the way AI is going right now, fake stuff is going to flood the internet. It's going to be more fake stuff than real stuff. So you know what people are going to crave? The real stuff. So you don't want to dismiss the jobs fully. You want to keep that, but you want to add to that. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the box if that makes sense. We haven't gotten to the point yet where humans are not needed. No. And we're going to be so from all the fake content that's out there. You're going to be looking for people who just show a little bit of humanity. You know what I'm saying? And you want companies to be able to identify what they want to be artificial and what they want to be human. So you've got to offer both. You've got to do both, but you do want to create that as maybe, as your AI software. You know what I'm saying? So if they're saying to you, I don't want that. I don't want the humans. I don't want to deal with the humans. You can say, that's cool, because we also have this as well. And now you haven't lost anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like right now, you're losing. Everybody is losing who is not offering any type of AI digital automation. And we just had an AI automation class where I showed the staffingpreneurs how to create their own software, AI software. And they love it. You know what I'm saying? I think we have our last class tonight, but they're gone in. They have created their own AI technology. I showed them exactly how to do it step by step. And then we met every week for the last month, really going through, like, did you get it up? Were you able to get to this far? I've got a number of platforms. Y'all are about to see those platforms come out. And my mentor said, Dee, stop waiting for it to be perfect. Just show everybody what you got and build it with them. Let them see how you build it. So that's what I'm going to do, because we're at the very last sprint of our development for a number of our platforms. So I'm going to have y'all go along with me, but you all going to need to create your own software, your own AI software, your own AI automations, your own AI operators, your own LLM, something that has AI in it. And then you create your impact, make your money until the next shift comes. There are going to be millions of shifts. There's going to be a shift every 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever years. Our job is to stay with the shift, not to give up, not to go behind, but to be with it, be ahead of it, and ride that wave until the next shift comes. And that's what I'm trying to instill into you all today. I hope I've done a good job, or a decent job at least. That's what I'm trying to instill into you all today, is that it's not enough to offer traditional staffing. If you're my staffingpreneur and you took the academy last year, your agency is behind. Your agency is behind. If your content is not reflecting digital workforce solutions in addition to humans, your agency is behind. If you don't have strategies embedded in your company around artificial intelligence, your agency is behind. And it's not something that you have a lot of time to kind of put together, a year or two. No, we only have 2 years before the next shift happens. Right now, the race that we're fighting, or the race that we're fighting, is ASI, right? When they put this, superhuman artificial intelligence in place, that's when the next shift is going to happen. And the robot shift is going to happen. And when I say the robot shift, is when they go into every home, okay? When they go into every home, that's going to be a shift. Universal basic income, that's going to be a shift. So we've got a lot of different shifts that are about to come up that are going to shake this whole world. So we've got literally 24 months, and that's not Dee Williams. If you all go to AI 2027 and just type that into Google, there's a report from the creators of AI, right? Some of the co-creators, and they're pretty much predicting how long we have before we get to the superhuman AI, 2027. Okay, so that means we only got a year and a half now. Okay, I think we're all on the same page. I think it's starting to click for y'all. So that means you got to do something now. That means you can't wait till next week, next month. No, you've got to start today and start building so that you can get ahead of the curve, because the shifts are coming and they're going to come very quickly, and your mom's not ready, your sister's not ready, your brother's not ready, your child's not ready. No, most people aren't ready. Most people aren't watching the Dee Williams or watching the tech blogs and different things like that to understand what's happening. The tech giants are trying to get the word out that, like, it's a big shift coming, but people don't tend to pay attention until it actually happens. This is an opportunity for you. I know that sounds terrible, but this is an opportunity for you. That means you've got to start building right now so that you can have your shit in order and ready to start pushing and to start, putting it out there as a solution to support both your candidates and your clients. If you're already up and running and you're not making money, start offering AI training to your candidates. Give them free training and then offer upgraded paid training. Start doing webinars and workshops on how to pull the automation out of your roles. Start doing it now. People will pay for those things. You can generate income in that way as well. Get your own coaching program. Start some type of membership community. People are going to need to be around humans because AI and robots aren't real. Okay? They're going to be like, wait. Start building your communities around your nurses, around your salespeople, around your project managers, around your whoever. Get that going. Let's see what Kristen said. She said she's preparing for the 2028 LA Olympics. Hey, I'm going to be ready. I didn't even know it was going to be here in LA, but I'm trying to get employers to hire athletes now so they can sustain themselves and build technology to aid the athletes during the Olympics. That's amazing. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. And oh my gosh, it's so many ways out here to make money. Like, I just heard the other day, I don't know if y'all know, this is kind of off the topic, it's just a tiny bit, but I don't know if y'all heard this the other day, but I thought this could be a staffing agency. I never thought of this, but people pay, companies pay people, and people pay people, but companies pay people to have them sit outside a place and wait in line for them. Did y'all know that? So there's actually, like, I heard the guy talk about it on TMZ. He's like, yeah, there are people who are professional wait in liners. So you pay them $200, $300 or $2,000, depending on what the situation is. And they stay in line for you all night so you don't have to do that. And I thought this could be a staffing agency. Y'all know how my brain works, but I thought, what a great way for somebody to build a staffing agency like that. You know what I'm saying? And you manage the process. And so he said a lot of different things. He said grand openings, movie premieres, court cases like the Diddy case, right? Just anywhere where there's a great demand of something, they pay people to sit in line all night, all day, or whatever, so that they can get, and it was the press that was trying to get it in there, but I'm imagining that it ain't only the press. You know what I'm saying? If somebody want to get in that Beyonce concert or whatever, they pay somebody to sit in line and get the tickets. So I don't know how it goes, but it was just an idea. I think y'all should definitely, somebody needs to take that idea and run with it. There's so many things that you all can do today in the staffing space that can generate revenue and that can create real impact. And so I want y'all to really put your heart and your soul into this business model. I want you to find some type of business model. If it's not staffing, you're going to see me on this channel. Y'all going to see me live. Y'all going to get sick of me. I don't care. But I'm going to be talking about all different ways you can use AI to start a business, all different types of business. I just want y'all to unleash your ideas, because whatever this new world is that we're creating, we all have to live in it. And you don't have to just have universal basic income. I mean, you can have your universal basic income, but I'm sure you want to live off of more than just UBI, right? Especially if you have a certain lifestyle that you tend to. Personally, I'm not interested in UBI because that would mean that I work for the government, and I don't want to work for the government. I want to work for myself, right? And so that's why I'm pushing so hard. I've been quiet for 6 months, working, learning, implementing, failing, crying, succeeding, making money, doing all of those things so that I could come back and teach it before. Like, I like to teach things that are real. I don't like to just teach shit that I never did before. I like to make sure it's something, that I can really, really say, like, I've accomplished this. This is what worked. This didn't. And I have that now. And so I want to share that with each and every one of y'all. So if y'all don't have any other questions, do me a favor. I want y'all to go, first of all, like this video if you're online. Okay. My staffingpreneurs, I know y'all love me, but if you are watching this live, I want you to like this video, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, share this video with someone, comment, tell me, what are you doing? How do you feel about the AI digital workforce? How do you feel about robots coming into the workplace? How do you feel about the shift that's taking place? Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you a little bit of both? Inquiring minds want to know, so please comment and let me know. And for all my replayers, you are not, you have to do the homework assignment too, okay? Just because you ain't here don't mean you don't have to do the homework assignment. You got to do the homework assignment too. Y'all need to start getting your websites and stuff like that updated. You need to start getting your sell sheet, your content. If you're my clients, your sell sheets are in your Canva account. So you can go in and update those things on your own. Your website, you call us and we can update it once you have your content updated and what you want to change on there. But I would encourage you to go through your website with a fine-tooth comb and figure out where it makes sense. Partner with your AI to have your AI help you to create the content if you need, okay? And start getting your strategies together on what it is, how's your industry handling the AI shift? Where do you see there are challenges, or where do you see you can go in and fit in? Oh my gosh, I wish I had more time. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother video because I can show y'all how to go. I had to show one of my clients yesterday. I worked yesterday a tiny bit. But one of my clients how to do deep research. If y'all know AI right now, you can go and do deep research in your industry to see what's missing, where the gaps. I said it, because those gaps and what's missing and what can be automated in those roles, all of that can be turned into AI automation. And that is your ticket, your financial ticket, your value ticket in the world of 2025 and beyond. Okay. Stay positive. If you missed the questions, most of y'all have my cell phone number. Y'all can text me. Bring your questions to class. I love y'all. I'm going live again later today with other things. So be ready to be in my world. You're going to take notes, because everything I'm doing, you're going to be learning. I just want to share information more than anything. And I just want to say I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all warm my heart. And thank you so much for coming to class. Any final questions in class for my people that are live on my Zoom call? Any final questions? Byron, this your first class. I love you. Dr. Rice, y'all show Byron some love. It's his first class. Oh my gosh. Unique's in the house. I see a lot of MRRs, YRRs. I hope y'all got fired up about that. Y'all should be dreaming about that at night. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Have a great day. Be amazing. Let's go. Let's take over the world.